You didn't tell me I was going to be on the podcast.
Sound check, 1, 2.
This is the 217 Recovery Podcast with Corey Winfield.
He knows as soon as he gives it to her, he's gonna give her his heart to her too.
And we'll have kids and get married. That's too far.
Holy shit.
May 21st, 2020. It is the 217 Recovery Podcast. Thank you for listening yet again. Maybe this is your first time. My name is Corey Winfield. I am the host. The podcast is usually set up where I go through my day. I go through my week. I talk about my experiences in recovery. And early recovery coming up on June 15th, I will have a year and a half of sobriety. And to me, that's pretty cool. So if you can learn something, if you can just listen along, listen to some life stories, sometimes it's serious, sometimes I like to goof around, but sometimes I have guests like I do today. Debbie Garrett joins me on the phone. Debbie, how's it going?
Hi there. Thank you for the invitation.
Mm-hmm. And I even kept that part in at the very beginning where you were like, you didn't tell me I was going to be on the podcast. And so I think that's going to be like part of my new open once I put a new intro together. So thanks for that, Debbie. Now, Debbie, you work with the FAN, or not the FAN, but do they call it the FAN or they just call it FAN?
FAN is actually the acronym for Families Against Narcotics. They are a statewide organization who is there. If you may have heard of the Hope Not Handcuffs programs,
mm-hmm.
They're the organization responsible for running that program. And part of, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And part of my really cool job is that they are able to provide recovery coaching services for folks who get into treatment through the Hope Not Handcuffs program. And part of my really cool job is I am helping to professionally develop and train up and provide orientation for their cadre of recovery coaches. Both their existing ones and their new coaches as the programs grow across the state.
Nice. Now, I'm going to talk to you about recovery coaching here in a minute, but for those maybe not familiar with Hope for Handcuffs, it's not like the police stop you and they say, all right, boy, I'm going to uncuff you and you can make it to them tree line and, you're good. Otherwise, we're going to be shooting, It's not like that. And no. I think it's great because in our mission statement, we use the word hope as well. Hope, inspiration, and purpose are three things that I think really turn the corner when you're in recovery. But Hope Not Handcuffs, if you could explain that to people who might be listening who have no idea what that is.
Sure. Hope Not Handcuffs is a program that as I said, Families Against Narcotics started. And what it consists of is if you're a person seeking treatment, you decided that you want some help getting into a treatment center, you can go to a police department and they will contact what's referred to as one of the Hope Not Handcuffs Angels, and who are a team of volunteers that will come to the police department, take some information, and help make arrangements to get you into a treatment center. There is a list of participating police departments on the familiesagainstnarcotics.org website.
Now, what's the difference between that and then the Michigan State Police Angel program? Because I heard you say the Angels. Is it just like a better version of what they had going on, or?
Well, and I think there is some collaboration there. I think that one of the things that happened is up in the northern part of the state, there are much fewer local police departments, mm-hmm. So it's the state police outposts. Okay.
Because one of my friends one time, she called me and she's like, I need help. And I was like, well, yeah. I was like, there's an Angel program, call. And she was worried, and then she's like, no, they'll arrest me because I have a warrant. And I was like, what's your warrant out for? And she said child support. She said she wasn't a good mother and her addiction and this and that. So I called the police and just said, hey, a friend of mine, she really needs help, and she needs something. She needs somewhere to go. She's in a very dangerous situation. If she comes there and, she wants help, will you give it to her? And they just said, no, she'll be arrested because she has a warrant out for child support. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So then she could go die then, and that would be fine. Okay, thanks. And that really bothered me big time, and it really changed my outlook on that program. I'm sure it helped some people, but the fact that, her crime wasn't like a hit and run or it wasn't murder, it was something that was direct result of her addiction. She's trying to get back on her feet to be a good mother again. And I don't know, it's stuff like that just kind of, it hurts my pride a little. And not my pride, but my...
Makes you sad.
Yeah, it really does. And should she have paid her? Sure. But, when you're in active addiction, that's, yeah, okay. And I don't know. I just hope that, some cases are probably going to go that way and be like that. And that's just a shame. But hopefully the Hope Not Handcuffs isn't as...
no,
unforgiving.
And I'm gonna read you the disclaimer that's on the website. It says exceptions that may make someone ineligible for the program: a felony or domestic violence warrant, someone who's a danger to others, someone under 18 without a parent or guardian consent, and a medical condition that may need hospitalization.
Okay, I think that's good. And, there are people that will use the program, any good thing that's going on there will be somebody like waiting in the wing, like, ooh, how can I take advantage of that? And that, and there should be some things in place like that. And I think that's great. But yeah, for someone to own child support, and having a warrant out for that, come on, man. Like, and the lady who I spoke with at the Michigan State Police post, she even kind of agreed, she's like, yeah. And I'm like, well, why don't we do something about that? Like, we're the people that can do that. Well, I'm just an officer. And I'm like, well, no, we're human beings, And
it is a possibility, too, that the particular state police department that the specific office that you talk to may not have such an agreement, because I know there was a lot of discussion with a lot of the local sheriffs and a lot of the local police captains when this program first started. To get some clarity on that, on what they would, let somebody into the program and without arresting them, and what they wouldn't. So I think that disclaimer on the website is helps kind of clarify that, hopefully.
And if somebody wanted more information on that, would they just go to the Families Against Narcotics?
Yep, FamiliesAgainstNarcotics.org.
Okay. Cool, because it's hard for addicts, this too, it's hard for addicts to trust the police, because it's hard to trust anybody, really. And I remember that time when the police would come to my house, and it was almost like a relief, and sort of in some sort of sense, like, I don't have to hide, I don't have to run, it's over. Almost kind of a feeling. And it's such a great feeling to just think, okay, I'm going to get help now. And, so I encourage people to use that program. And if maybe somebody that, if you're listening right now and somebody who's like, man, my friend really needs the help, they don't know what to do, they're, maybe in a horrible situation, and just, look at the website, do some research, see if it's something for you, maybe pass the info along to a friend. But the more people that know about it, the more people, can get help and take advantage of the program. And that's what it's there for. It's not there because Debbie, like, you like coming on awesome podcasts and talking about it, that's cool, but it's there to be used. And, one thing too, I wanted to kind of mention, 217 Recovery just became a 501c3.
Awesome.
Thank you. And yeah, it was a lot of hard work, a lot of paperwork, a lot of reading, a lot of deleting, a lot of editing, a lot of resending. Well, I only had to send it once, but so we're going to start a transportation service, And, we would love to be a part of, the fan. And if we could, any part that we can play in it, we'll talk off the air more about that. But yeah, so that's pretty exciting for us. And, to team up with other people, we want to have like a statewide golf tournament. I mean, a fishing tournament. I mean, I want to do all kinds of stuff, Debbie. And I don't know, we can do whatever we want. We're sober.
Right. Right on.
And your recovery coach training.
Yes.
Is this through CCAR?
Yes. I am a CCAR certified trainer in both the Recovery Coach Academy and their ethics training. So part of what I'm working toward with BAN is getting the recovery coaches certified through the Michigan Credentialing Board of Addiction Professionals.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's really cool stuff. And we were talking about the availability of the Hope Not Handcuffs. If I may, I'd like to also mention really quick that I know you get people from all over the state who listen to this. Mm-hmm. We have recovery coaches all over the state. So people can also go to the website and request the services of a recovery coach.
At the FANS website, familiesagainstnarcotics.org.
Yep.
Nice. And are they doing that, well, obviously with the COVID-19, have you been doing that on Zoom or?
Some of them, a lot of the recovery coaches have been connecting with people via Zoom, a lot of phone calls, a lot of, especially right now, people are taking advantage of that so that they can have that support prior to getting into treatment because of the COVID-19. There's been some difficulties getting people into the treatment center.
Right.
So that additional support prior to that kind of hand-holding beforehand, which has been very helpful for a lot of people.
And if they were going to take the training or find out more about how to become a recovery coach, is that what you're talking about, or are you talking about just actually getting a recovery coach, or both?
We are going to be growing like crazy, especially when we get into the office, are able to get back into the office and things open up. And we will be looking for recovery coaches across the state, actually, and doing trainings across the state. So I will keep you informed of when that all opens up and becomes available. And
like I'm a certified recovery coach, but what if I wanted to take it again? Is that, yeah, just, they probably wouldn't like that.
I think there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people take it, I'm a firm believer in the stages of recovery.
Mm-hmm.
And that as you progress, especially like through the first 5 years of your recovery, your perspective on things change, how you process things change. I know for myself, I was really, really lucky. I went into treatment 20 years ago in November. My last drink was November 5th of 2000, and went into treatment as a result of my third DUI conviction. And went in for 2 weeks, came out, my case was adjudicated, and the judge said, well, I'll tell you what, we're going to give her credit for a day time served. We'll give her credit for the time she was in the treatment center. She goes back into the treatment center for another 2 weeks, and we'll consider that time served. So by the time my case was adjudicated, it was almost 90 days after my first experience in the treatment center. So I was 90 days sober when I went back into the treatment center for the second time.
People are probably looking at you like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it was kind of, oh, that's what you meant by that. I get that now.
Wait a minute, you just got here. You're 3 months. You already got 3 months clean. Why are you in a treatment center?
Right.
But
yep.
Well, it all works out how it's supposed to, too. And you're exactly where you're supposed to be. And I met you at Recovery Ambassador training, which was very interesting. We had a good time with that. And, I like how it was just, hey, here's the facts, here it is, and let's all get on the same page. I was talking to a guy about that today, matter of fact, at the place I work. And, I was telling him, the messaging is so important. It's the